you all here. I'm Bob Harvey. I'm the president and CEO of the Greater Houston Partnership, and it's a real pleasure to see all of you here this morning. Let me first welcome our special guests this morning. First of all, our honored guest, Senator Rodney Ellis. He'll have more to say, and I'll have a bit more to introduce him with in a minute, and as well as Steve Pryor, the president of ExxonMobil Chemical Company and VP of ExxonMobil Corporation. Thank you very much. And I'd also like to recognize Representative Al Green, who's here this morning. Thank you very much for joining us at this event. I know he's well known to all of you. We'll hear more from Senator Ellis and Steve Pryor later in the program when they announce a major initiative for this community. Let me take a minute and talk a little bit about this issue, workforce development, which is the topic for this morning. As you know, the Greater Houston Partnership is the voice of business, as we say, for the 10-county Greater Houston region. We talk about our mission being economic prosperity. And what that really means is opportunity. It's an opportunity for a great job and a great career and a great quality of life. It's an opportunity to invest and grow one's business. It's really an opportunity to make Houston one of the great cities of the globe, frankly, a great global city. The partnership has a long history of identifying opportunities as well as challenges for this community and to help mobilize this community to address those opportunities. Now, in the past, those opportunities have been in the form of a great port, a great airport system, a great opportunity to make Houston the energy capital of the world, an opportunity to create a world-class medical center just south of here. But sometimes the nature of the task falls more in the manner of a challenge that the community must face and overcome. And in that respect, we would say today that our success in creating jobs is creating a challenge. Now, one more word about that success. I mean, you simply can't deny the success we're having as a region in Houston in terms of creating jobs. A statistic that impacts me is that we've added over 300,000 jobs in Greater Houston since January of 2010. January of 2010 was, frankly, when we statistically began to come out of the recession. So since that point, we've added 300,000 jobs. In the last 12 months alone, through April, we added 111,000 net jobs. I mean, we have the strongest metro economy in the United States. Frankly, there's only a couple cities that are even close, some of whom are here in Texas and will not be mentioned. In that context, our success is being recognized. And seldom do you go more than a day or two or a week without seeing some favorable mention of this area in the national media. And when Forbes says we're the coolest city in the country, and they say it last summer in the midst of our heat, and Atlantic Monthly had something nice to say. They said we were an unstoppable job creator in a recent issue. And frankly, daily we seem to be picking up these kinds of accolades. It's what a wonderful time. For some of us my age or older, we never thought we'd see another one of these in our career. So it's really wonderful. But in my role as the new president of the partnership, I've been out talking to the community about the opportunities and issues. And the issue that I heard about first, the issue that I've heard about most consistently and loudly, is the issue of workforce. The simple fact is that we're creating jobs at a faster rate than we're creating the qualified workforce to fill those jobs. In fact, I don't have all the stats here from memory. If you look at our unemployment statistic, I believe it was 5.9%, the most recent figure. That's better than the state average, that's better than the national average. But frankly, you think 5.9% in a setting where the jobs are clearly there, what's wrong? Well, what's wrong is evident. The skills aren't there in that workforce to fill the jobs that we're creating, which fortunately, typically today are higher skilled jobs. So, in response to this issue, the partnership has announced what we're calling, and that's not what we're here to talk about, I want to make clear, we announced a couple of weeks ago, what we're calling the GHP Regional Workforce Development Task Force, which will be a community-wide effort across industries, across broad segments of the education landscape, four-year colleges, community colleges, independent school districts, and what have you, as well as the social service sector, to really see how we come together as a community to address workforce development. That effort is being led by Gina Luna at JP Morgan Chase and Bruce Culpepper of Shell. We're just forming the task force this summer. and this group will be working on kind of developing the fact base and identifying the specific targets of opportunity over the course of the remainder of this year. That effort will launch initiatives in early 2014. So how does that relate to our announcement this morning? I mean, obviously, this announcement this morning does not flow from that effort, so I would put it as the perfect example, frankly, of what we want to be seeing happening in this community, which are employers and educators and other parties coming together to address this issue in a pragmatic, thoughtful manner. And I think this is simply a great example of that. We frankly look forward to many more opportunities to stand up in the front of this room with ExxonMobil and other parties announcing similar ventures around this community, because it's going to take efforts like this, many efforts like this, frankly, over a period of time to fundamentally address this issue. So now I'd like to ask our very dear friend and ExxonMobil's guest, Senator Rodney Ellis, to make a few comments this morning. Most of you know Senator Ellis very well, 20 years in the Texas Senate. Those are called dog years, I believe. You know, it has a great reputation as a champion for education, healthcare, criminal justice issues, and a great leader of this community. Senator Ellis.
I see timing is everything. My friend and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee walking in just in time to get that warm round of applause. And I want to recognize both of our Congresspeople because they have both been advocates for programs like this, particularly with inclusion of all of our area community colleges and educational institutions. So I want to publicly thank you, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and you, Congressman Al Green, and give you a warm round of applause for what you've done. One of the first things that I had the privilege of working on when I went to the state senate 23 years ago, but if I run again, I don't want them to think about me having gone in 1990 either. So keep that 20. I'm gonna make sure that I put that one on my website from now on. But it was the issue of consolidating our various workforce training programs, and I thought it would have been just a simple concept. When I went to the Senate that February 1990, Governor Clements was in office. Governor Hobby was still there, and they could tell I was hyper coming off the Houston City Council. So somebody said, give this fellow something to do. He's going to drive us crazy. He doesn't know this is a part-time job. We do this 140 days and get out. So they gave me this little subcommittee called Workforce Development. So I took it seriously. I went all around the state, Baytown, El Paso, everywhere, having hearings, talking about the simple concept of consolidating all our workforce training programs. And then I couldn't get the bill up on the floor of the Senate. I couldn't get my 21 votes when Ann Richards became governor, Bullock was in office. So our land commissioner, Jerry Patterson, was a state senator then. He had a bill to kick people off of their benefits and contract with Texas. You remember when that was going on. So I told Governor Bullock I ought to add that workforce development bill to his bill. It was Governor Bush was in office then. Governor Bush's welfare to work bill, which was maybe a 30-page bill. So I added a 200-page amendment to that bill. And it got stuck. We couldn't get it off. The point I'm making is workforce development is the single most important thing any of us in public office here at the Greater Houston Partnership or the private sector can work on. I applaud Exxon for stepping up to the table today on this. Bob, I appreciate you letting me come, and I appreciate my friends at Exxon for suggesting that I be a player in this. I'm trying to do as much as I can to help them through the permitting process to give us some more jobs with a major project in the Houston area. Today, Texas produces roughly 30% of this country's natural gas and roughly 30% of the U.S. oil production. If Texas were a separate country, we'd rank as the 14th largest oil-producing nation in the world, the third largest for natural gas producing of any country on the face of the earth. Shale natural gas production has almost tripled in Texas between 2009 and 2012, and that's only going to increase, and that's a very good thing. The 6 occupations with the highest rate of growth from 2011 until 2012, and 7 of the top 10 are energy-related jobs. Number 1, derrick operators. Number 2, petroleum engineers. Number 3, service unit operators. Number 4, roustabouts. 5, rotary drill operators. 6, wellhead pumpers. 9, petroleum technicians. Number 1,000 would be politicians. So for the few young people in the room, don't think about what the 3 of us do as a profession. We need to do more to train and cultivate more highly skilled workers in our region and fill these jobs. And that's why we're here today. I'm extremely excited that my constituents and the constituents of Al and Sheila are going to get a shot at some of these jobs. They'll be able to go to work at a school near their homes, right here in Texas, and be trained at our community colleges through this initiative. I know that we have leaders from all of our 9 area community colleges that are in the audience, so I want to thank you for stepping up to the plate. I want to point out that you're going to give a lot of young people an opportunity to have a meaningful and a productive life. The jobs that will become available in our area over the next decade represent a life-changing opportunity for so many people in our community. With the average salary in the Texas chemical industry being about $86,000. I want to reiterate that. It's an honor and a privilege to be in the state Senate, but it's a $600 a month honor. This is a $86,000 a year job. This landship partnership among our schools, business, community, and ExxonMobil can help make the dream of economic independence come true for a lot of families in the Houston area. I want to tell you about what a privilege it is for me to be involved in this, and it's my pleasure to introduce the president of ExxonMobil, who just returned from a warm spot in Colorado, talking about a major piece of legislation that we hope is going to pass the Senate and then go to the House and create more jobs in our country. He's a native of New York, but he got to Texas as quickly as he could. Would you please welcome the president of ExxonMobil, Mr. Steve Pryor.
Thank you, Senator Ellis. Thank you very much, Senator Ellis, and Congresswoman and Congressmen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. I'm very excited about ExxonMobil's announcement today. The announcement is really, and you heard it, it's about preparing Houstonians to fill these high-paying jobs that are being created in the chemical industry. And really, it's not just about earning jobs, it's about launching satisfying careers in a critical industry for our country. I am talking about thousands of jobs that are coming to the Houston area because of the tidal wave of new investment by chemical companies. This tidal wave is made up of close to 100 announced chemical projects. It's about $70 billion worth of investment in the U.S. chemical industry, and most of that investment is going to be right here in the greater Houston area and across the Gulf Coast, because Houston is the capital. It's really the heart of the U.S. chemical industry. So big tidal wave of investment is coming, and for these kinds of investments to happen, we need skilled workers. So the wave is coming, and the question is, how can Houstonians ride this wave? And that's where this announcement comes in. ExxonMobil is committing $500,000 in seed money to train Houstonians for high-paying jobs created by these chemical projects. Thank you. We are partnering with Houston area community colleges to expand their capacity to develop skilled workers for these jobs. And you know, you think about it, this time of year, what's happening? Thousands of young Houstonians are graduating from high school. And you know, if you have someone in your family like that, you know most of them are asking, what am I going to do with my life? And this program can provide the answer. The program is not just a good idea. It's built on a proven success. The foundation of the program is the nationally recognized ExxonMobil Process Technology Program that was established 5 years ago at Lee College in Baytown. For those of you who are not aware, Lee College is a nationally recognized leader in training workers for the chemical industry. Lee College will work with 8 other Houston area community colleges to expand their technical training programs. They'll share course materials, they'll share instructors, they'll share best practices. So instead of being fragmented schools trying to do their thing, they're going to come together as a network, share their resources, and make this available to everybody. And as the senator said, right in your local neighborhood. So a new website has been launched for the program. It's up now. You can look at it, called HoustonNaturalGas.com. And you know, this is about helping a young person to navigate career opportunities. You know, imagine you're coming out of school, well, I hear chemical is expanding. How do I find a job in that industry? You can go on this website and it lists in one place all the kinds of career opportunities that are out there. It lists the indicative salaries for these opportunities. It lists the kind of educational requirements for these opportunities, and then it lists the local community area, the area community colleges that provide the training. And the idea is it'll help you navigate the opportunities and find a program nearest your home, so it's accessible. And what we're really excited about is this initiative is expected to benefit 50,000 students and educators over the next 5 years. Thank you. Now, to touch the lives of so many Houstonians, it takes, you know, dedicated educators like the people in this room. We have with us chancellors and representatives of the community colleges like Lee College here with us today. You know, and it also takes dedicated public leaders like Senator Ellis, who, as you heard, has been a champion for workforce development, for job creation in Houston for many years. And that's what this is about. It's about all the pieces coming together. Companies investing, community colleges networking, public servants acting as champions, and then it all comes together in one place. That's what we're trying to do. So we are talking about high-paying jobs, satisfying careers, and as you heard, when we say high-paying, the average Texas chemical industry earnings, the person is $86,000 a year. That's 40% higher than the Texas manufacturing average. And when I talk about satisfying technical careers, I'm talking about jobs like plant technicians who keep our modern chemical plants running safely and efficiently 24 hours a day. And I'm also talking about a number of more hands-on skilled crafts like pipe fitters and welders and machinists and that sort of thing. And let me just introduce two of our ExxonMobil young technicians who have recently embarked on their careers, who are graduates of the ExxonMobil program at Lee College. So we have, maybe you two could stand up, we have Crystal Davis and Andy Guthrie. So Crystal's dad retired from ExxonMobil and said, you gotta look into this Lee College ExxonMobil program. She's done it, and now she's working at our plant. She's been a technician, keeping the plant running. Now she's training in the control room. So the control room is like the NASA Space Center. It's just all these panels and lights. It's cool in there, the lights are dim, and it's the nerve center. And she, at this early stage in her career, is training. Andy is an Air Force veteran. He went to the Lee program. And he interned at ExxonMobil, and now he's full-time with us. I'm also delighted that we have with us Kenneth Kosey. Kenneth, why don't you stand up? Kenneth is currently enrolled at the Lee College ExxonMobil program. He served our country in the Marine Corps, in the Army, and he's now nearly completed with his studies at Lee College. And his father-in-law recently retired from ExxonMobil and said, Kenneth, you got to go look into this program. So Kenneth, God love you. Finish those studies well, because we need people like you, because we're expanding Baytown. At our Baytown site, you know, we already employ 6,000 people, and we have a multi-billion-dollar expansion being planned. And, you know, that program, that one investment, and that's just one, is going to create 10,000 jobs during construction right here in the greater Houston area. And then it will create 350 permanent jobs within the plant, and then about 4,000 other jobs in support industries in the greater Houston area to support the plant. So it's a lot of jobs. These jobs are coming. Thousands of other high-paying jobs like it are coming, and Houstonians need these jobs. So let me just wrap up by saying that as a major local employer, it is a thrill. I mean, this is as good as it gets to work with dedicated educators like our community college leaders and public leaders like Senator Ellis to help prepare young Houstonians to grasp this opportunity. I mean, it's an opportunity for high-paying jobs. It's an opportunity for exciting careers in an absolutely vital industry. So thank you very, very much for attending, and I'd like to now turn it back to Bob Harvey to close the program. Thank you.
Well, I mean, how exciting is this? And I want to recognize Representative Gene Green for joining us this morning. Thank you. If that doesn't give you a sense, frankly, I believe in my 8 months, this is the only time I've had 3 U.S. congressmen and women at an event. So the significance of workforce development is just not arguable today. This is going to take all of us, and that's the point of this. It's not just a need that we must address with respect to our employers. It's what's going to determine whether we as a community are successful in the coming years. If we cannot educate and provide career opportunities for our young people and retraining for our adults, we will not succeed as a community. So this isn't just about business pragmatism, it's about building the community we all want to live in, and that's what gets us all excited. I'd like to recognize, if I could, the representatives of the community colleges that are here today, and just, if you would, just stand, and we'll hold the applause, as we say. Rodney Albright with Alvin Community College. I didn't confirm. Yeah, Rodney, great, thank you. Dennis Brown with Lee College. Oh, yeah, we almost had to clap for Lee. Serena Andrews with Brazosport College. Great. Beth Lewis with College of the Mainland. Great, Beth. Miles Shelton with Galveston College. Great. Renee Bias, Acting Chancellor at HCC, Houston Community College. Rand Key with Lone Star Community College. Brenda Hellier, with San Jacinto College, and Betty McCracken with Wharton County Junior College. Again, this may be another first of getting this group together in one room at one time. And I want to recognize Anna Babin with the United Way, CEO of the United Way, and I do that because Anna's a great friend, but also because part of the issue here is how do we provide the support that these folks will need as they move through this education pipeline into the workforce. What we have learned with years of work in this area, it's about creating the opportunity, it's about creating the education system, and it's about creating the support system in our community to make young people aware of the opportunities and to help them deal with the challenges they'll face, both financially and otherwise, as they move through the system and gain employment. So it's going to take all of us. Let me just conclude by saying thank you very much for being here. There'll be a media opportunity in an adjacent room in just a few moments after we've had a time to kind of reconnoiter a bit. And with that, I just say conclude. Thank you very much.